How's it going, Sagittarius community? Soul Tigers here with a special story for this wonderful frequency. Now, first off, let me start this video by saying thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your patience as I navigate this story between the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, and everything in between. Now, with that being said, this is a space where we call in the angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy to come on in and be the guides and protectors for all the positive messages that are going to come out. Now, let me be honest with y'all. If you're here for the first time, this is not Love Tarot. What this channel is geared around self-empowerment. And what that means to me is us building the stepping stones to get closer to our soul beings, which help align us with a higher power. So, Saggies, are you ready for your vibe? Thank you so much for being the last ones up this time. I really appreciate y'all. So, and let's start this off with some quotes. And I quote, "All work and no play," end quote, has you feeling like your responsibilities are heavier than what they really are. You are of fire energy. Remember this, Sagittarius. Too much of one thing could deplete your energy. Think about that. Too much air, too much wood, not enough wood, not enough air, not a big enough space, too small of a space, maybe too big of a space. You gotta have the right kind of elements to get a fire started, but also to keep it going. Keep this in mind. Kick your shoes off somewhere, Sagittarius, so you can take a breather, inside or outside. What's needed is for you to remember that this life can be about fun moments too, and that you are allowed to laugh, smile, and enjoy the moment. Sometimes this can be some work to get to. Standing up for yourself and what you need can be very hard when you are not used to it, Sagittarius. For a lot of us, finding our voice, finding our boundaries, finding how we can sit here and stand solid in our personal power is a lot of our journey, Sagittarius. Don't feel like I'm just calling y'all out, because I'm not. But it's being brought up now for a reason. When you have been under pressure for so long, having fun, taking a break seems like it's a crime. But it's not. In these moments, we allow ourselves to recharge and regain the momentum to be able to handle the next part of our journey. No excuses, Sagittarius. You need time to play. I mean it. I need time to play too. I need to go out. I need to do stuff. I've been overworked too. If I'm overworked, I guess that's just something that's happening in our vibe. And do you notice when you're overworked, when you're worn down, when you can't do nothing but stress about what's happening now, what's happening a moment ago, plus what's going to happen in the future, life seems so much more heavier. It does. And it's not a crime to take a break from responsibilities. In my scope of practice, I'm always trying to teach my clients that what they're doing is not just a luxury. It is essential for us to check out of our stressors, even if it's just for 50 minutes, just for an hour, just for 30 minutes. I would like it to be at least an hour. I'm going to tell y'all, at least an hour. Because it gives us time to take that whole world off our back and set it down to where we can feel ourselves again. Again, it's not a crime, Sagittarius. It's not a crime to take care of yourself. It's not a crime to laugh. It's not a crime to smile. It's not a crime to enjoy the moment. Now, what was happening definitely when I was dialing in, cleansing the cards. I could already feel, just like it mentions in the vibe, that this is something you're going to have to work for, especially to get it established in your routine. Did you hear that word? Routine. This is something that you don't need to visit every once in a blue moon. This is something you need to put into your routine to help you out in your daily life with your daily responsibilities, helping you gain that energy to help build the resilience to keep you going so that you can show up 100%. Because right now you can't show up 100% because you're so worn down, because let's face it, you haven't been able to play. So let's go ahead and start the introduction off with the Butterfly Oracle for life changes. With the Sagittarius frequency, there is a lot that's going on, and a lot that asks you to rely on believing, on having faith, on understanding that you're in this tough spot right now, and that isn't because the divine has left you behind. And that's what I've heard directly just now. You're in a tough spot because you're working on something that's really important to you, and you're not giving up. Don't punish yourself for you working so hard, for you having your dreams, for you wanting to obtain your goals. Again, find the moments to where you can play. You can celebrate how far you're coming. Celebrate that you're not giving up. So, angels and ancestors, what is it that needs to come out for the introduction for the Sagittarius community? Something we're not seeing and that we're at odds ends with. The reason why I pointed out it's not there, the spirituality and religion, is because when I first picked up the deck, I always look to gauge the mood of what's happening, and then I proceed to cleanse it. That card that I just showed you was there when I picked the deck up, and then after I was cleansing. This feeds into the vibe of what you're not seeing, kind of what you're not feeling, because you are overly depleted. And what you're at odds ends with, and that has to deal with spiritual growth. Feeling that inner knowledge of yourself, feeling the things that you've gained, the growth that you've gained, looking at what you've completed, how you overcame mountains in your past. And this is what I'm being led to really reflect on, is the journey that you've taken to get to this moment now, Sagittarius. Sagittarius is there one to sit there and keep riding till the wheels fall off and then some. You've been doing that. But right now you can't see past the responsibilities and the stress. And it's again because you're so depleted. You can't see how the divine wants to help you and bring you into alignment of where you want to go because you are so depleted. Then I have dietary changes in reverse. Just know when we become overly stressed, we don't make the best choices for ourselves when it comes to taking care of ourselves. And I think that this is what this is depicting here. What we tend to do is run at odds ends with it. So when we're overly stressed and we're trying to make it from one responsibility to another responsibility and then deal with the other responsibility and then another one and then another one and then another one, we tend to just freight train through it all. We forget to drink water. If water is available, we might just end up grabbing a soda because it's just way easier to pop it open and take it with us. We may end up reaching for more processed food again because we don't have to sit there and make something for us. Instead, we just grab something really quick. Instead of taking time for ourselves to take a moment and take a break, we dedicate all our time to all of our stress every single moment of every single day. And this is what this is saying, is that we need to slow down. We need to make some changes. And what this has to deal with too is healing the past. Sometimes when we get going so much, it's because we're working towards something, we're working away from something, We are trying to maybe put ourselves at the most distance with something. Could have been our past choices, maybe things that have happened in the past. And then I have volunteering. With this one, I feel like, how can we volunteer ourselves to do something different without the expectation of wanting something in return right away? Remember how I said that sometimes when we take a break, it can feel like a criminal act? It's because we don't see what we're getting in return. We don't feel the payback. Unlike when we're handling our stressors and we're trying to take care of business, the payback from that is, hey, we got something taken care of. We have to learn how to volunteer our time towards things where we get back a currency that isn't on the to-do list, of the stressors. Alright, so last 3 cards, something that we're a little afraid of, we're at odds ends, is a new career, new beginnings, maybe even new types of responsibility, retirement, retiring out what once was, what doesn't work for you anymore. Last card, family changes. That's a lot. That is a lot. And this is kind of why I picked the Butterfly Oracle. I was really pulled to use this, is because you're going through a lot of changes. I'll be real with you. I'm an Aquarius sun rising, but I'm also a Sagittarius moon, and I have 4 planets, including the moon and my Saggy. And I think my Sag is in the 9th house. Is it the 9th? No, it's the 10th house, but it's my MC. So I can feel this. I can feel this because this can happen in a lot of different ways for us. It doesn't just have to happen in the home. This can happen in your career. This can happen in the areas of your life where you have really been dedicated to recently. And when we have sudden things that are coming up, things of changes that we know that are on the horizon for us, sometimes we'll overly stress out about everything in our immediate moment, trying to prepare for the uncertainty that's to come. And that's what I feel like here, especially with myself. I'm not gonna lie, I just got another job, so here comes some uncertainty, and uncertainty of how it's gonna work out, what it's gonna bring in, what kind of currency, not just money, but environmental currency am I gonna receive from this new kind of place. Like I said, this could be also going into the family, or something that's affecting your family as well with this new change, whatever it is on the horizon. But one of the reasons why I like to use the Butterfly Oracle is I like to remind people, if you think about butterflies, they don't have this, like, how do I put it, like muscles upon muscles kind of thing to navigate high winds. They're not like a bird of prey. They're not like a pigeon. They don't have what a lot of other animals have to help them navigate the currents of the wind, the currents of life, such and such. What they solely rely on is themselves and what they have. Think about this. We've seen them all the time. We have just these gentle wings. And with these gentle wings, they're able to navigate life. Just know that you don't have to become the cruelest person, the person that's on defense because you're overworked to get to where you need to go. A lot of times it comes down to you being able to take care of yourself, going from each thing one step at a time, just like a butterfly goes to one flower at a time. A butterfly doesn't get up and overthink the day like, oh my god, I don't know if I can handle these currents today, blah 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 blah. No, it reads its environment and it comes out when it sees that its environment is right. That's what I'm assuming. I'm not a I'm not a big studier of butterflies. I've just observed them, But no matter what, even with the breeze, I always see them out. They're always just going to their missions, one thing at a time. And it doesn't seem like they hold themselves back. I mean, they still get up, they still go with the day and stuff, but it's not a race for a butterfly. It's not a race from one flower to the next flower. It's at the pace that is divinely guided to them by the way that they're made, by what their purpose is. I like that last part. That definitely was something that was coming in from higher up. So let's go ahead and call in our ancestors, ancestors, ancestors. I know for the past few stories, ancestors have been coming in for the earth signs. So definitely a lot of ancestral energy has been around us. So let's go ahead. Ancestors, ancestors, ancestors. What is it that needs to come out for the introduction for the Sagittarius frequency? Oh my goodness. Round and round they go. Boop, 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 boop. What am I talking about? That's a good song too. These emotions. It's one thing after another, after another, after another. Look at that. Everything's being dumped out. Everything's so draining. There's only one little part where one cup's not dumped out. I just feel like it's constant turbulence, 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 turbulence. And for some reason, this turbulence is making you feel like you're not here for anybody. It's making you feel like you're not taking care of business. You know, it could be making you question the very things that are around you. Maybe the very ways that you've grown into, I'm hearing to say. Then I have this Nine of Pentacles. This Nine of Pentacles is very confused. Very confused on what we've felt type of energy. Very confused on the maturity, the wisdom. Especially the emotional stability of this. All I know is that there's two people here at least. That's what I see. There's definitely you and another here. I don't know if there is another person, place, or thing who is heavily focused on themselves, focused on something very specific in their environment. They're so focused on that they can't see these others. This is something that influences your energy. This is something that leaves you really confused on the things that you're doing, the things that you're trying to accomplish. I mean, you could have a sense where there's somebody always looking over your shoulder at everything that you're doing too. Almost like you could be under a little bit of a microscope here in a sense. In a sense, because I mean, if we go back to this King of Cups energy, they'll come in and they'll look over your shoulder, but it looks like they go back to focusing on whatever it is that's in front of them. There we are. So there's no movement. There is no movement. There's a lot of stuck energy with this Eight of Wands in reverse. There's no journey happening. There's nowhere to go. We got a Page of Swords. Something's really being held up here. Being held up. Somebody's over here with their attention somewhere else. Trying to build up something, weaving something together here. There's something that's being put together. There could be just something that's being held up altogether. Definitely 5 of Pentacles can be out in the cold, or it could be getting out of the cold. And right here, there's something that is in limbo for you. I feel like with the 5 of Pentacles, that's in the confused position. I mean, a lot of times with the Page of Swords, it's being held on to. Whoever the page is holding on to is generally holding on to the sword. It's to the thoughts. It's to that kind of, could be one-minded thinking kind of thing. But here they're holding on to the goose. And I feel like for them, this is their golden goose. Whatever this is, whoever this is. They're holding on to the idea of something. That's what I just heard. And as I said that, we have this 3 of Swords. So you have another energy here who's not being very truthful about things. And they're not being truthful about things because it keeps you in limbo with something. And you see how these energies are going round and round and round in this card with these swords. Usually the 3 of Swords is with the swords in the heart. So this is to keep you spinning your wheels, spinning your thought, keeping you in like the hamster's wheel. I think I said a hamster cage in one story. It's the hamster wheel going round and round and round and round and round. If you look at that, look at both these cards depicting like going round in circles type of energy. Both come out in confused positions. I mean, unless this person is honestly reflecting the same thing, because a lot of times the people that we meet in our lives, people, places too, and things are reflections of us. So, I mean, this, on the other side of it, this other person could be reflecting, you know, things that are bothering them towards you in a sense. And it's like a reflection. It's just a mirror thing. It's not that we're matching energies, which this could happen if you allow it, but I'm not seeing you reacting here, so I don't know if you're not allowing it. But what it is when they see you do something, then they're gonna do something type of thing. You see it, but you're not reacting, because what you're doing is you're trying to take care of things. But what they're doing is trying to kind of like toss a monkey wrench into it. This kind of stuff happens. It happens at work, it happens at home, it happens in community type of settings. Again, because you have somebody here trying to hold on to whatever this golden goose is. What I'm hearing is this person doesn't really matter that much, Sagittarius. You just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind when it comes to you being able to keep holding on to your energy. Because when you react to them, that's when you hand over your energy. And see, they're upset because you're handling things. You're taking care of business. That upsets them for some reason. You know, I had a situation like this recently, and it even got blown out of proportion because somebody went and twisted the narration of what actually happened. Nobody asked me anything, but everybody went off of the assumptions of this narration. And I had to see this person later on that day, and I already seen what had happened, and I paid it no mind because I already knew what was happening. I already know that this other person's in competition with me, even though I'm not in competition with them. And I know why they're doing what they're doing is because it's due to a certain insecurity that I'm bringing out that is honestly their personal problem. But the thing is, you have to really recognize, Sagittarius, are you here for the drama? Because if you're not here for the drama, then how can we elevate you past this to where what they're doing doesn't affect you? And you know what they're doing is not gonna keep intruding on what you need to do for you. Because remember, the theme behind the vibe is you need time to play, you need time to relax, you need time to enjoy moments in your life again, because you're working too hard. You are working too hard. And I don't think that the divine, your guiding energies, want to see you burnt out. They don't want to see you burnt out by the time that this all gets through. They don't want to see you pushed to the point where you just give up either. This is why it's really important that all of this is being brought out. And this might be just like the Virgo story, where this is more just reconfirming stuff for you. Because remember, Sagittarius energy is of healing. It is of a philosophy. It is of teaching. It's a lot. It is a lot. So there's things that you're seeing. There's things that you're reading between the lines. There's cues that you're picking up on. But can you continue to pick up on those cues, but allow again yourself to have a break from them? Break from picking them up, a break from dealing with it, and again enjoy life so you can rest and rejuvenate. Ooh, did you see how that flipped out? Oh my goodness. So then now we have the Ace of Coins. It lands on the Queen of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, and the Five of Cups. This person, whoever's holding on to this goose, this is their investment. This is what they're going to attach themselves to. This is something that they think that they should be attached to. I don't know. It's almost like you owe them. Somehow they owe you. But then we have this Nine of Swords here. Let me make sure. Yeah. Then we have this Nine of Swords in reverse here. What I get with this is somehow if they keep attaching themselves, if they keep holding on to these ideas, it could be something that soothes their inner turmoil. And this is why they're trying to hold on to so much. This inner turmoil has to do with the Queen of Cups energy. What they're saying here, because the Queen of Cups is in the exact same confused position as the King of Cups. So what's being expressed is, hey, what are you doing? We are a perfect match. We're supposed to be here. We're supposed to be doing this. You should be happy. You know, we had this agreement at one time. You should be happy. I think we all had a workplace like that came out like with all the glitz and the glamour, like we're this, we're that. Oh my gosh, you're gonna be so happy here. But then when you actually get in there, you're in the trenches of hell. We've all had situations like that. But this person is trying to tell you, hey, well, you've been in these trenches with me. We've been in this agreement. We've been in this partnership. We've been in this matching trench energy. So you know what? You just need to stay here. It's your best bet kind of thing. Ooh. And then we have what lands on family changes and retirement. The Hangman. I love that one. Ooh, I like that. I like the way the Hangman came in upright. So the Hangman is represented by Pisces energy right here, right now. This is mysticism. This is your mystical love type of energy. This is kind of like your beliefs, your transcendence energy, that energy that you can't get to through the intellectual mind. It's through your beliefs. And the thing here that you're not seeing is how you can retire this. How you have the power to let it go. How you've built up enough to do it. Because for some reason you're confused on what you have in this Nine of Pentacles. But for some reason here we have Divine that's throwing it out saying you got enough. You did it. You've done enough work. You have it. You have it, because we have healing from the past. We have the dietary change, but then we have the retirement on those two. Followed by the Hangman, followed by the Nine of Pentacles, followed by the Five of Pentacles. The whole thing is you're confused on being left out in the cold at the same time. I don't think you're too worried about whoever this is, but for you yourself, this is something that you're worried about. This is a big move for you. This is a big change for you, and that shows it right here. What I'm hearing, there could be a sense of failure, because I just kept hearing failure. You're feeling like you're failing. That this part of your journey that you've had from the past until now is just you failing at something. Oh, no. This was a big lesson for you. This was a lesson for you to learn from. This doesn't, whatever this is, doesn't make you who you are. How you heal from this past, how you go to something new, how you start to volunteer yourself, to giving yourself a break, how you start taking care of yourself, how you start to grow spiritually, will be the gain that you get from this. Now, I'm not taking this to relationships, because I keep giving good work examples too. But I'm going to tell you what happens, all right? I was watching this video of this very mature man who, I don't know if he does podcasts, whatever. I'll be up on YouTube. And they was talking about, he was doing, reviewing videos and talking about men who call women out. And this is nothing against the male gender, the masculine energy. This is nothing against that, because you can sit here and change up the gender roles. But what they say is they think it's kind of funny how a person looks better, or they take care of themselves more when they're out of a relationship versus when they're in a relationship looking all rugged and stuff and not taking care of themselves, not showing up with the best of the makeup on, blah, 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 blah. All right? And the way that this man explained it was very, very beautiful. And not many people think of this. He's like, you want to know why she's doing better? You want to know why this person is looking good? Because they ain't no longer stressed out in that situation that they were in. Now they have time to take care of themselves instead of taking care of whoever's stressing them out. That is the damn truth when it comes to our personal relationships, when it comes to our work relationships, when it comes to our family relationships, when it comes to the areas where we're dedicated to the very things that stress us out. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I've even had to tell an employer one time because, excuse me, my masculine energy for this next one. I hope you're comfortable with this. You should be. It's natural. But I'm going through other life changes too with my hormones. This is natural. Anyways, I'm turning to wine. No, I'm at that part of my fermenting stage. Anyway, so I was running into stress this one time with this job. And what ended up happening is I kept having my menstrual like every 2 weeks for like a month or something. And I even had to tell my employer, it's either I'm going through some life changes or it's the stress. One of these two are really affecting me, and I'm basically hinting to the stress at work. So I was even telling them it's stressful. So, one of these two things in my life is really affecting me right now. And I don't know what it is. Either it's the hormones or it's working here kind of thing. And that is what can happen when we take on stress. When we take on stress 24 hours, when we don't give ourselves a break from stress. You overthink about your stress. When you're eating, you're thinking about stress. When you're showering, you're thinking about your stress. When you're driving, you're thinking about stress. Think about how many times you were able to go from one place to another, but not really see how you were really involved in driving. You weren't involved in it. You were involved in just stressing out, and you were on autopilot. I know I've done that a few times, and I've had to take a step back like, holy crud, I need to do something. I need to de-stress myself. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, that stress will mess with you in many, many, many ways. All right, so I'm hearing one last card for the present. So I have this Page of Cups. Page of Cups, Page of Cups, Page of Cups. I feel like this is something that's been happening since a younger age for you. This has definitely been a routine that's happened. Could be how the way you handle emotional stress. I mean, it could be even the way that you could take your emotional stress out on yourself as well, in the way that you see yourself, how hard you are on yourself for not showing up in certain ways, kind of energy. And the last card is we also have this Knight of Cups down here. I feel like with the Knight of Cups, we definitely need to pour into ourselves. We need to pour into ourselves with, you know, being able to recognize the cycles that we have been going through with whatever this is. How we've been working with it, alongside of it, you know, even could have been working against it, maybe trying to work away from it. But all of this has taken time, patience, and dedication. That's the biggest one. Dedication. Don't forget, you've been really, really dedicated here. And I think that's something you need to pour into yourself too. You know, there's times where I wake up 7 days a week, 5:30, 6:30 in the morning, go. And I have to remember to slow myself down. I have to tell myself, hey, you need to take a break, because for some reason I feel like if I'm not doing something, if I'm not accomplishing something, then I'm being lazy. I'm taking away from myself. And I have to remember to step out of that energy, because I am just as important as all of my responsibilities. So remember that. This, you know, this is all coming in from the new moon in Gemini and the full moon in Sagittarius this time around. Gemini represents that Mercury energy, how we think and how we communicate. And then, of course, Sagittarius represents that searching for meaning, our inner truths, you know, putting that in our sight, you know, engaging that truth, that targeted of the truth. What is the real truth here? Is it really a crime that you want to be happy? Is it a real crime that you want to take a break? I don't know about that. And you got somebody over here trying to tell you it is, whoever this is that's over here trying to micromanage in a sense and keep themselves attached to your back. You have to determine when you want to be the ringmaster to this clown circus. I'm just going to say it like that, because sometimes we get stuck in situations where we have to deal with this type of energy. All right. So what did I do with the one that I was telling you about? Well, I went ahead and I stepped up as the ringmaster to that clown circus. And I did it in love, light, and compassion. I know I felt what they were trying to do. I felt like how they were trying to mess with my reputation. And you know what? Just like that Eminem song, excuse my language, I just don't give a fuck. Oh, that's off of one of the old albums. If you old school, you know what I'm talking about. Why don't I give a fuck? Because this person was out to tarnish my reputation from the beginning. And you know what? If I don't come to whatever they're calling me, then that's not my name. That is not my name. And so I handled that situation. Again, I was not a clown with this clown in this circus. I was the ringmaster. And when I went in, it was love, light, and compassion for myself, for my inner peace. And I said what I had to say. And I stuck to not the script, but the professionalism of where my intentions were. That was it. I didn't react to him. I wasn't snarky. I just didn't give excuse my language, a fuck. I didn't give a fuck. And guess what? Their little game, their clown ass act had to recognize I'm not a clown. Is it gonna change things? Probably not. They're probably gonna be insecure tomorrow. They're probably gonna try and mess with me next time I see them. But guess what? I'm not a clown. I'm not going to go and be a clown because you want to be a clown to me. Nah, I'll be the ringmaster when I have to deal with you. That's about it. And I set it down to let them know that you don't get my reactions. I see you. I see what you're doing. But I will not give you any reaction. And I'll still get what I want in the end. And did I get what I want? Did their little trickery work? No. Keep that in mind. Outsmart them. Outsmart them, outsmart them, outsmart them. All right, so let's go into the block. Angels of protection. Angels of protection. Please protect us as we navigate Sagittarius's block here. What is it that needs to come out for the block for the Sagittarius frequency? Oh man, so we're stuck on some confusion, especially things that we're not sure about seeing. It has to do with the hard work that we put in. What choices do we really have? Do we have a choice to pick the choice that we really want in a sense? Do we get that chance again? Like I said, this situation you've been stuck in for a while, or this type of energy you've been stuck in for a while. So it's almost like you're almost encroaching on a fresh start kind of thing. But you're not sure if you can pick the better one of the two. Do I go with choice A, where I'm meant to go, or do I stay with choice B, where I've been, kind of thing? And I can get that as a Sagittarius. Yeah, we can cut a person off when we're done with them, and that means we're done with them. We're not going to be fake with you afterwards. But there's a deep sense of loyalty to the things that we are committed to. And you know what? Not a lot of people speak about that when it comes to the Sagittarius energy. And you have to see that. You have to understand that, you know, when you make moves with anything that you do, you're well read up on it. You know, you're checking things twice. You're kind of doing your research. You're aligning with other energies within yourself in a sense before you make certain decisions with this high priestess here, especially when it comes down to the things that you love. I just feel like you're really stuck in the middle here with some stuff. And right now, maybe it's time to go into this hermit mode here. You know, if you want that more information, because we have the Hermit as the Virgo card, and the Virgo is also represented by what is it? Mercury. Again, how we think and how we communicate. And again, this falls in line with you being able to communicate to yourself on a better level. Being able to communicate with yourself with those guiding energies and with how you're feeling here in the now. And being able to go between the two, not as extreme oppositions, but as bringing them together and aligning these two parts to you. Definitely, if I didn't say this, if you're curious about how the new moon in Gemini, full moon in Sagittarius play into our energies now, this time around, go check out my new moon, full moon interpretation. Sorry if I already said that and I'm sounding like a broken record. This is why I always tell you, thank you for your patience. But the Hermit here is, again, when it's in upright, it's talking about going on a journey with yourself and those higher up guiding energies. When it's in reverse, it's asking you to trust in others. Right now is not the time to trust in others. Right now is the time to go on a journey within yourself. This is why it's important. You need to get out and you need to play. You need room to breathe. You need room to drain stuff out, but you also need room to refill yourself. And I feel like with this Hermit here, you're not sure if you can trust yourself. And as I say that, here we have this King of Swords. King of Swords that comes out and lands over here. You're not sure how to trust in yourself. You're not sure how to express your diplomatic kind of view of things in a more assertive way, in a sense, because remember, we have to determine if we're going to end up acting like a clown with this clown in this circus, or if we're going to be the ringmaster to this clown circus, or if it's not our problem at that time. So another thing that you're really kind of thinking about is you're considering the Six of Cups here. Six of Cups talks about relationships that have been in our past, or relationships that have carried from our past into now. And this could be how come we're committed to the things that we are, or I should say overly committed to things that we are, or that we finally commit to. I hope that makes sense. Alright, let's see. Two more cards that fall out here for the block. The Nine of Swords again, and the Four of Wands. Don't let this experience make it seem like what you really wanted from this situation will be unattainable in your future. That's what I get, this Four of Wands. I mean, also it could be is don't sit here and feel like this is the only kind of way here in this situation, whatever this is, that you can achieve this kind of stability here. Remember I said you could be on the brink of a burnout, and usually when we burn out, that's when we kind of tap out or throw the little what is that, like the white flag or something. But this is what I'm getting with this Four of Wands here, especially this falling out into these choices. Like, you look back and you're like, you know, am I choosing wrong? Am I really doing what's the best? Because remember, you're really committed here. And like I said, Sagittarius energies will ride the ride until the wheels fall off and then some. And right now it's, you go back and forth. You know, this is something that you thought as one time in the past here that it was going to be something more. But right now, because it's only been the one way, you don't know how to choose other things. It feels wrong to choose other things. You don't feel like you have the right to choose anything else but what has came from your past until now. And you know what? I don't know if you can see this, Sagittarius, but all this lines up right here, right under the retirement, right under the new career, and right under the dietary changes. All of these block cards are coming out here except for that King of Swords. So this is a lot of stuff that you stress about. This is a lot of stuff that continues to stress you out. This change is going to affect a lot of different areas in your life, and that's where you have that uncertainty. I think that's where the uncertainty comes from, where it's rooted from. Because, again, you haven't had any other choice but this kind of choice for so long. This one really wanted to come out. Let's see, and as we say that, yeah. It's definitely been having to put up with what has been. I feel like with this Tower here in reverse, definitely having to put up with stuff because of it's been so long. But this stuff has been more painful than anything. You know, you never got anything out of this, I feel like. You could have been always kind of chasing something, in a sense, trying to find something emotionally, you know, that was never going to be given. I mean, sometimes and jobs will change we'll kind of chase some kind of validation, some kind of like, we want to see that the company sees us. We want to see that our partner sees us. We want to see that our family sees us. And some kind of validation. Give me some kind of offering. Give me some kind of thing letting me know that you're here, that you see what I'm doing, and that you maybe appreciate what I'm doing. But this hasn't been happening. This hasn't been happening because you haven't been given it to yourself. And that's a little crude right there, but it's something that really stems from in here. I mean, we can have people be happy for us, but they're not our happiness. We can be happy for people, but we can't be that person's happiness. We have to be our own happiness. And that's something that you're going to have to learn in this hermit mode, especially giving yourself time to have a break. That's the biggest thing. Biggest thing right there. Oh my goodness, Sagittarius. I'm proud of you. Very proud of you, because you know what, again, you haven't given up. You haven't thrown in the towel. If anything, you're working harder than ever before. But it's not a crime to take a break. You need a break. You need a rest. You need a recharge. You need a reboot. You know, and what I heard is you need to update. You don't know this, but when we rest, we rejuvenate. Our body can get back to trying to do that. What is that? Homeostasis kind of thing on a cellular level. That's where our body's going to start to rebuild itself. It's going to start to take care of the things that we're having underlying issues that we don't even know. Whether it's a muscle tear, maybe something going on that we need to heal from. It's a lot of different variables, but please keep in mind that these stories are for entertainment purposes. What I'm here to do is to help open up a door for you to start exploring things. So just keep that in mind, that rest, having breaks are essential. If they weren't essential, you think your employer would give it to you? Think about that one, because if it wasn't proven essential, your work wouldn't even give you a break. So think about that. If I'm talking to somebody who, you know, could be a stay-at-home parent, somebody who works from home, that can be very hard. I know when I'm in my home and I haven't been at work for a while, I really slip up on giving myself breaks. I slip up on even eating good for myself because I'm too busy going from one task to another, I think that's ADD or ADHD, but I'm not diagnosed. I don't know. So we made it. Good Lordy Wody, Sagittarius. Thank you for your patience. Let's go ahead and call in divine and universal energy for this conclusion. What is it that needs to come out? I don't know what this other is telling you, who's ever up on your back, who's trying to hold this golden goose. This person could be affecting your digestive. If you've actually been feeling more gassy lately, you've been having digestional issues, it could even be a little bit of pain in your digestive system. I'm thinking on your left, is it the upper quadrant side? It could be this person, the stress from this person. I know I've mentioned in other stories, stress can wreak havoc on our bodies, especially when we're not taking care of ourselves. Let me say that. Can you tell us the 12th story? So whatever it is that they could be telling you, that what you're trying to do isn't going to be of good fortune, you have to see it. You have to see it. You have to believe it. You have to feel it. You have to volunteer yourself to it. Kind of energy. No matter who's saying what, who's doing what, who's trying to twist narratives, yada, yada, yada. All right, let's see what else wants to come out. Oh my goodness, don't be confused. You are allowed to have a blessed day. Like I said, it's not a crime for you to be happy. It's not a crime for you to smile. It's not a crime to take pleasure in a moment where you can actually relax. It's not a crime. Let's get creative when we're doing this. Let's get creative in how we weave this into our routine of our self-care. For us, Sagittarius, it needs to be routine because it's going to be something that's going to feed us. Grounding ourselves out in it. Becoming like this anchor and not giving room for others to budge you from it. That's it. The emotional turmoil of others, no. Even when you're kind of coming into emotional turmoil, no. There are many times I don't want to take care of myself. I don't want to work out. I don't want to eat right. I don't want to do this, but I have to ground myself in the beliefs of my dreams and where I want to go. Especially when it comes to my health. So I have to ground myself out and, like an anchor, not let myself be rocked by all this chaos, by this turmoil when it comes to them trying to rock me off of my self-care. You got to still stick to it. And that's a part of, grounding in yourself and not giving whoever these reactions. Remember, do you want to be a clown with this clown? You have to ask yourself that, because acting clownish with this clown ass mofo is only going to piss you off more. Is only going to intrude on your energy and deplete you more. So really, really value your energy, value your time, value your focus and where you put it, knowing that you're allowed to use it for you. All right, something here you're confused on. Something you don't know if it's going to work out. You don't know how this is going to turn out. I get it, and this has to do with safe travels. The emotional currents that are happening and how to navigate them, especially through the thoughts. What to expect, what to try and prevent type of energy I'm healing. And what I hear is you got to let it go. You got to give it to the divine. You have to give it to the divine, because it's this overly stressing about these changes here that is keeping you from healing this past energy that is ready. You are ready. Even though you don't feel like it, you are ready, and it comes at the expense of you stepping out and finding a moment to enjoy again. That's weird, right? We're not asking you to go to war. We're not asking you to do something crazy. We're asking you to take a break and find a moment in life that you can enjoy again, giving yourself permission to laugh, to be happy, to be, what I'm hearing is comfortable in the moment. All right, I think I'm seeing one more card is needed. What is the last card for the Sagittarius frequency? There we go. Oh, this is perfect. I did see this in the pre-shuffle here. This is perfect. A part of the groundedness, a part of, with this person trying to prevent the destruction of things, or you not knowing how to feel about the destruction of things, you not knowing how to feel about the things that you really worked hard on if it's a failure, or if it was even a success. Mindfulness. Give yourself permission not to even stress about it. With mindfulness, we take ourselves out of the worries of the future and the regrets of the past, and we bring it now into this present moment. We submerge ourselves into the present moment. Mindfulness is something that has to be worked on, and it has to be practiced. Maybe this is something you can start doing when you take little breaks for yourself. Instead of when you're on the break, worrying about everything you're not taking care of, what about on the break that you practice being present in that moment? And what does that mean? That means you filling out the air around you, you seeing the environment around you. Your focus is only taking in the information of the environment around you. That's very hard to do at times. But when you can start to learn how to do that, that's how you start to check out of your stress, and that's how you start to tuning into more of that rest kind of energy, that rejuvenating type of energy. This is something that you can learn to do, and you can take this practice into a routine before you go to bed. So when you go to bed, you're not taking your stress to bed with you. And then you can sit here and wake up and practice that routine too, so you're not waking up to stress. I actually try and do this in my own ways. What I try and do is 2 hours before I go to bed, I try and install a no scrolling rule for myself. And for 2 hours after I wake up, again, there's that no scrolling rule. Because what I've noticed for myself is that a lot of the things that we see on timelines and feeds always are engaging our emotions, which will bring us back into stressing about certain things that are attached to those emotions, creating a heavier load on our shoulders. So first thing in the morning, what I like to do traditionally is I like to get up for the first 2 hours, drink tea, and do journaling. Allowing myself to wake up for the day in a peaceful moment. Allowing myself to let out any stress that I'm feeling from the day before, even stress that I'm feeling from right now. Well, you said not to think about stress. No, I'm processing my stress when I'm working with journaling. I'm acknowledging how I feel so I can process and move forward from there. That is how I'm able to become the ring master when it comes to other clowns' circuses. But it's also how I have the knowledge that I do have a choice if I want to be a clown with another clown, or even if I want to be the ringmaster to situations that involve clowns. So remember, you are the ruler of your day. You really, really are. And you have a right not to always give yourself away. You have a right to give to yourself too. It's not a crime. All right? Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Sagittarius, for being the last ones up. Thank you for your time, your patience, and your energy. And I hope that you have a most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.